We begin in Abuja, where the Presidential Election Petitions Court is holding its last pre-hearing session. The Presidential Election Petitions Court has consolidated the 3 petitions filed by political parties and the presidential candidates. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Haruna Samani, made this known while presenting the pre-hearing report on petitions by the Labour Party, People's Democratic Party, and Allied People's Movement petitions. The court has given 3 weeks to the Labour Party and its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to prove their case. To ensure a speedy hearing of Labour Party's petition, there will be no oral examination of witnesses but adoption of witness statements. For a star witness, 30 minutes will be used for evidence in chief, while 20 minutes will be for cross-examination and 5 minutes for re-examination. At Monday's proceeding, the court dismissed the application filed by the PDP seeking to televise the day-to-day proceedings of the court. In a unanimous ruling, the court held that not televising the proceedings does not amount to a lack of fair hearing on the part of the petitioners. And a Lagos High Court has granted leave to the Isale Eko Union to seek an order compelling Lagos State Video and Film Censors Board to impose a 10 billion naira fine against the gangs of Lagos producers for the wrongful depiction of Isale Eko as a den of criminals and the Eyo Masquerade as a gang of murderers. The court also allowed Isale Eko's descendants to apply for judicial review and seek an order directing the Attorney General of Lagos State and the Censors Board to sanction the film producers under the Cinematograph law of Lagos State. The presiding judge, Justice Idowu Alakija, granted leave for judicial review in an ex-parte application brought pursuant to law of Lagos State. Justice Alakija granted the leave after hearing arguments of counsel for Isale Eko Descendants Union and 2 others. Talking politics now. A faction of the minority caucus of the 10th House of Representatives says it is yet to reach a consensus on the candidate to support for the seat of Speaker. The group, known as Greater Majority, inaugurated state and zonal coordinators to interact with political leaders and party members at the grassroots. The caucus is also planning a retreat to further solidify its decision and foster a unified front.
In all the interactions we made, our leaders have authoritatively told us that they have not given mandate to their members-elect to identify either with Mr. A or Mr. B. The only mandate and directive they gave to their people is to network, is to interact, and then ensure that they collate what is going on and give them the feedback.
Whatsoever we are doing, if tomorrow we are being asked questions, if tomorrow we are being asked questions, what were the processes you follow and the due process you'll be able to take to arrive at a decision, we have you to give those answers.
The Nigerian Political Science Association has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission and other stakeholders for the improvements witnessed in the 2023 elections. At the end of a 2-day meeting, the group also commended INEC for adopting technology in conducting the polls. They're advocating further reforms in the electoral system to include more citizens' engagement and an improved political party system.
A recommendation. More rigorous process in the appointment of annex and key officers to ensure that there is no political interference. Introduce background check, CSO scrutiny, checklist, and guidelines. Have clear criteria for appointment. People with proven competence deserve to be appointed to ANEC.
There has been dramatic improvement from 2011, and all Nigerians will agree. One, in terms of outcome of election, approximating the will of the people. In fact, when you cannot have a perfect election, that the standard language is that elections should approximate the will of the people. We have also increased acceptance of outcome, and in many instances, losers admitting they have lost and congratulating the winners.
Politicization.
Let's turn our attention to security matters. The police in Benue State has assured that more officers who have been deployed to the Eyo community in Goma local government, where at least 18 persons, including women and children, were killed and many others injured. Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Catherine Anene, who spoke to TVC News, says only 8 bodies were recovered, and the police are doing all it can to keep the people safe. The attackers were said to have beheaded some of the victims and also burned the remains of several others, including their homes and food barns. A native of the community who lost a brother in the attack confirmed on condition of anonymity that the attackers stormed the village on Saturday evening at about 6 p.m., which was a market day in the community.